This is One-on-One. There she is, Carlene Anderson, third grade teacher at PS number 12 in beautiful Paterson, New Jersey. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Steve.
We're about to see a piece of video from our partners at the NJEA, Classroom Close-Up, a terrific series you can see on public television in New Jersey, NJTV. Listen, before we see this, digital citizenship, what is it?
Basically, it's just bringing the world into our classroom and using technology to do that to help our students prepare to be 21st century citizens and using technology in a digital age in a very responsible way.
And we're about to see this video that brings that to life. We'll come back and talk to Carlene, and she'll tell us her story and why she's one of the many terrific educators that we feature in this terrific series. Take a look at the video and we'll talk right after this.
Good morning. Can you hear us, Stefan?
Yes, we do, and we can see you now.
Okay, let me just check the volume on my computer, please.
Carlene Anderson, a third grade teacher here at School 12 in Paterson, is taking her students on a virtual field trip around the world in less than 7 hours.
In English, Mr. Nielsen, we spell cat. There's C-A-T. So there's
Carlene and her students are sharing a vocabulary lesson with a classroom in Denmark. This is all part of the Digital Citizenship Project.
Digital citizenship basically means bringing the world into the classroom, and we use technology to do that as a mode of sending and receiving messages about our culture, our customs, traditions, our beliefs, etc.
Carlene's students and their friends from Denmark took turns performing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Mr. Nielsen played guitar for both classes.
What I've noticed with my students after the Skype sessions, I've noticed that the cultural divide narrows.
The next stop on our tour was a school in Maine where students shared a lesson about caring.
Responsibility means being accountable for what you say and do.
School number 12 invited Norman, the therapy dog, for this segment.
What Norman really does as a therapy dog is he's a volunteer, and he works in his community with disabled people. He works with children in school, like you guys, so you can get a good appreciation of a dog.
With Denmark, you saw how language is an essential part of our experience. With Maine, communities of caring. We showed the students the relevance of even animals and how they help people. I know in Jamaica, where I was born, we eat a lot of callaloo. And even in New Jersey, where I now live, we eat a lot of callaloo. So we kind of take our culture with us, boys and girls, when we move, don't we?
Yes.
With the students in Guyana, we continued our discussion about diversity. We were discussing people groups and how the foods that they bring to the New World or brought to the New World influence our culture to the point where it's hard for us to separate where the East Indian culture ends and where our love for curry chicken begins. It was a way for us to see the melding of our cultures, things that are similar.
The thing that I like about Skyping is we meet like the world and like we learn things about other states or countries.
I want to preserve my culture so somebody can say, oh, tell me more about where you're from.
I mean, that is good stuff.
Well, thank you, Steve.
How much do you love doing that?
I love it quite a bit. I learn from my students a lot, and as we interface with students around the world through our global collaboration projects, we learn an immense amount from students across
Now, just in that video
America.
we saw from our partners at the NJEA Classroom Close-Up series, they were communicating with students in Denmark.
Yes.
And where else?
Guyana, South America, and Maine, as well as Hawaii.
And the other teachers, the teachers on the other end, how do you make that connection?
Initially, my inception into this whole Skyping movement and using Skype as a teaching and learning tool came by way of an email from a colleague of mine from Maine, Sherry McInnes, with the Chatting Across the USA project.
Chatting Across the USA.
Yes, and so Chatting Across the USA essentially is a project where teachers across America were invited to be state ambassadors. We would research and present state facts. And so my students and I, we responded to that email and essentially became New Jersey's representation of those facts. And as we began to share more and more about our Patersonian history, we realized, New Jersey is a very diverse state, and Paterson being the birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution.
That's right.
That we had so much to share where culture is concerned, and all of that happened around the same time where a reduction in force happened in education.
Right.
And so not only were we in Paterson affected, but teachers across America.
So technology becomes a huge factor then.
Yes, it becomes a unifying force because Paterson, school number 12, we are a professional development school with William Paterson University. And so our professor in residence would bring in a lot of tutors to assist in
translation. You're working with school number 12 in Paterson.
Yes.
Professional development, meaning these are young people. You're trying to get them ready for the workforce, okay? And so you're working with professionals, academics at William Paterson who partnered with you to do what?
Partnered with us to bring tutors into the classroom to help with literacy, to help with math, and to hit at all the core content, standards and the Common Core. And so as those tutors were being brought in by my professor in residence, who is the university's representative assigned to my school, I basically, in light of the reduction in force, asked her, can you please send the music majors, the art majors, we lost music teacher, art teacher, lots of teachers during that.
Needed help.
We needed help. And so as I discovered that more of these teachers across America were likewise impacted, I used Skype then to enhance their learning experiences, sharing the mini concerts of tutors who were music majors who were coming in, sharing art lessons with children across America.
You changed it up big time.
Changed it up big time.
I have to ask, what impact do you think it's had on the students?
I think it's broadened their worldview, and it's allowed them to see that they have a place in the world. It's increased their civic awareness, and also cultural pride, I think, has increased.
Cultural pride?
Yes.
Translation?
Well, even with Paterson being the birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution, many of our students at school number 12 and across Paterson are from immigrant families, and immigration was what really drove the American Industrial Revolution. And so as students are able to see the value of not just what Denmark has to say to us or what Guyana has to say to us.
What about their story?
They see that their story is an important story to tell as well. And so that's when I say civic pride, it boosts their self-esteem, and it helps them to realize that there's something good about Paterson. Given all else that's not so good, there's something worth sharing.
And there's something good about teachers in Paterson,
well,
teachers like you.
Thank you.
And that's why we're glad we picked you. Carlene Anderson, third grade teacher, public school number 12 in Paterson, New Jersey. We want to thank you for joining us. You're a credit to your profession.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, Wells Fargo, the Adler Aphasia Center, PSE&G, the law firm of Gibbons PC, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Bloomfield College. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.